Hello and welcome back. Hopefully you guys all had a great Christmas and New Year's. Not much has happened here. As you can probably see, the car is undercover. I haven't done very much at all to it, to be honest with you. I did do some work to the front. I did make an episode before Christmas, which is what this episode is actually going to be. But I didn't put it out because I just didn't feel the content in it really had much heart and soul into it. I was absolutely knackered during that time. I was in the middle of shearing sheep, so I didn't, just doing long days. I really just didn't really want to be in the shed. But I'll play that for you, and hopefully enjoy it. Like I say, it just didn't have much heart into it. I was just pretty tired. I think the camera only came on during stages. I didn't actually show any footage of the work I was doing, but it is what it is. It's footage nonetheless. It's not really worth throwing away or anything. So I thought I might as well just put it up in this video. Hopefully enjoy that. This year 2021 for me hopefully is going to be a good year. I've got some cool ideas of things to do. I'm hopefully going to get this GTO up and running properly. I want to do a race series which starts in June, so I have 5 months to get it sorted, do some test days, as well as obviously doing all my standard farm work, etc. So hopefully I can get that sorted. Hopefully we can get that out and do some good racing in it and be competitive. Also, I have another GTO coming in to do, a customer's car. It's a 99 GTO, so quite a cool shape. It's the newer ones. That's coming in for the same Myvic heads and a single turbo conversion. That one's going to be quite interesting because the motor itself is a naturally aspirated engine, which we're just going to pretty much bolt the heads on, bolt the turbo on, and keep the boost low and see what we can do. Don't know if that's any better or not. My little screen's died. So hopefully that'll be a pretty cool project, and you guys can follow along on that from the start, whereas my car kind of started midway through. That also, once that's finished, I do have another project in mind that I want to build. I've always wanted to build pretty much my own car from scratch. So I'm going to have a go at doing that, and I want to build a car with as close to possible 1-to-1 power weight ratio. So that will be coming up later in the year as well. Hopefully it all works out, it comes out good, and you guys can enjoy watching that along the way. But as for now, I'll put on the video I shot last year. Hopefully enjoy it. Like I say, there's not much heart and soul into it, but it still is an update to where I'm up to. And at the end of that video, I'll show you. I've done a little bit more since then, so I'll show you where I'm up to on that too. Hello and welcome back to another week. Again, we are still working on the GTO. I haven't had a lot of time for doing any filming in the last week or anything like that. I haven't actually done really much to the car. What I have done is I've just pulled off a couple of bits and pieces, so we'll just rip into it and I'll show you what we're doing. Just moving forward through the list of things to do. Short shift's done, the seat's done. So now we're going to start redesigning the cooling system. So this here is where we're at. Please excuse the rain. It is bucketing down at the moment. I don't know if you can hear it. Sometimes the GoPro picks up some sounds and not other sounds. So I've got the bumper off. I've put the splitter back on. The radiator, I've moved up. Before it was leaning almost on a 45 degree, and it made it quite hard to stack the intercooler up against it. I've now, as you can see, I've put that closer to maybe like, I don't know, like 10 degrees on the lean. And I've now stacked the intercooler onto it. One thing I didn't notice, right back at the start when I first started building this, I took this down for a bit of a test, and I was backing it off the trailer and one of the ramps fell off, and the intercooler hit the back of the trailer on the way down, and I didn't think it'd done any damage. But it's not till I go to line it up onto the radiator that I can see that the actual intercooler itself is quite twisted. Like here you can see this bit of foam's touching the radiator, touching the intercooler. It's touching the radiator, touching the intercooler, but down here in the side I can fit, you know, a good couple of fingers in there. But down on the side, on this side, it's touching. So it's got quite a twist to it. It's not going to matter though, because my my ducting is going to pretty much touch the radiator on each side, so that should be okay. It's just, yeah, I didn't think it was that bad, but it is quite bad. So I've put the splitter on, and what I've currently done is I've just got the radiator sitting there to where the bumper clears it, the bonnet clears it. It's actually sitting down on the splitter because the splitter's kind of like the lowest point. So what I'll do is, because it has these big long pegs here, it's got them on the bottom as well. So what I'll do is I'll probably run a 5mm plate or the factory rubber mounts, I can't find them, sorry. The factory rubber mounts to slop onto those pins, and then I'll make brackets for that, and then what I'll do is I'll actually, once that's done, I'll cut the bottom of the pins off so it clears the splitter, so it'll have like maybe like a 10mm gap or something like that. So you can see here, I think from memory this intercooler pipe used to sit about there. So the intercooler, the bottom used to be right out here, and the top might not be too far away from where it was before, but it's now stacked up against the radiator. So hopefully this will help, and this way I can use the whole mouth on the bumper, because I had those sides blanked off before. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a duct that uses that whole mouth and ducts it all straight into this radiator, and it'll start here and it'll curve up and then sit up against the radiator here like that, so air can come in, hit this, or it can go up and hit that as well. And then I'm going to just run the fans on the back, which hopefully there's enough room for, but it might just mean that I'm only going to run one thermo fan, which shouldn't matter too much, because the efficiency of a thermo fan is normally just when you're sitting still in traffic anyway, and this doesn't go in traffic, so it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, we'll just see what happens, I guess, and go from there. So what I'm going to do tonight, hopefully, is I'm going to weld a bar straight across here, from there to there, make some mounts that come down to hold on to my intercooler, and some mounts that go back to hold on to the radiator. And then once that's done, I'll probably move on to some form of bottom mounts, and we'll just go from there. Okay, so the intercooler is now mounted and the radiator is now mounted both at the top. I still need to make some mountings for the bottom. I'll do that tomorrow night, but as you can see, I've only tacked these ones here on. I've still got to finish them up, but yeah, so she's all pretty rigid and stuff. I've just got to, like I say, do the mounts at the bottom. Tomorrow night I'll try to get those bottom mounts done, and then I'm going to start pulling the turbo off and getting ready to put the bigger twin scroll exhaust housing on. Yeah, and then I'm going to have to make some new intercooler piping and stuff to suit how everything's moved, but it's coming out okay. We're going to do some ducting, so the ducting's pretty much going to start on the underside of this tube here. It's going to come out, it's going to curve out this far, like as far out here as I can before it hits the bumper. It might be just a reasonable, and it'll come down through here, down and then out, like do a 90 degree and out here, and then it'll sit up on the mouth of that, and then the one underneath will pretty much just come bang down and under, and it'll sit up on the bottom of the radiator down the bottom. I'll do ducts on both sides as well, so make sure that this is completely sealed, and that'll be all good. And then I am going to use that oil cooler there, probably as a power steering cooler, and I've got a bigger oil cooler to go, like engine oil cooler to go here, and then I'll do ducting that comes out, around and in, and it'll go through that little side vent there. I also want to pull a little bit of air out of that side vent as well for a hose that runs round to the brakes. But yeah, then we should be all good. Got a brand new set of brake pads coming. I don't know when they're going to get here. They're ex-Japan apparently, so, well, I don't know if they're ex-Japan or if they're getting manufactured in Japan and then getting sent over. About 3 weeks away. I ordered them about a week ago, so hopefully they'll be all good. So I've got to pull the wheels and that off and get the rotors off and get them away and get them all machined up nicely. But that's pretty much what I'm going to do for tonight. It's come out pretty good. What I might actually do is I might see if the bumper fits before I head home. And yeah, let's see if we can get this bumper to fit. Yeah, actually I'll leave you going, I won't turn you off. I'll hold you in the vice. There you go. I have no idea what you can see or what you can't see. So I apologise, hopefully you can see somewhat in that direction. Oh, I'm not going to get that on because I've got that bloody clamp there. Okay. Let's clamp off. Okay, that's not going to upset that too much. Alrighty. Come here. Alright. So she's on. This in itself did need to sit higher because what was happening was it was sitting too low. Let's get this off. If you ever need like really good like welding protection or anything like that, just go to Bunnings and buy a fire blanket. They're awesome for putting over things so they don't catch on fire when you're welding. Oh, that didn't sound good. What was that? That bonnet latch seems to be fucked. And there works. This one here, on track there I had heaps of fucking problems with this one. Set you down. There we go. Alright, so I seem to have a bit of a gap, but it's okay. It's just a touch too high. It's not too bad though. I'll just be able to manoeuvre those around and get them sorted out. But now you can see how far. Now I've got almost what, maybe an extra 2 inches now of space between this and the intercooler. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut this probably about an inch more off this the whole way along around, and then that will just help out with the duct as well. I don't know if you can see up here, but like there's heaps of room to go up between there and the bonnet now. Oh, and what I have to do is I have to do a measurement from the top of the intercooler to the actual nose cone of the bumper. Yeah, and then we'll just try to get that sorted. Alright, well, that's it for tonight. We'll crack back into it tomorrow night. So it's another evening back out in the shed. What we're going to do tonight is I'm going to pull the intercooler off. And then I need to make a mount for the bottom of the radiator so I can get that sorted, and then do bottom mounts for the intercooler as well. Hopefully once I've got the mount for the bottom radiator sorted, I can pull the splitter off and I can get to everything much easier from underneath, but we'll just get that sorted. Once that bottom mount's done, I'm going to pull the turbo off and get that off, and then do some measurements to make sure that that exhaust housing fits that turbo. As I know what the condition of that turbo is, whereas that one over there, I'm not 100% sure of the condition. I know it's second hand, whereas that one was brand new. So I'll keep on using that one for now. So yeah, so we'll pull the turbo off, make sure everything's all okay there. Then we've got to pull the exhaust manifold off, cut that open and turn that into a twin scroll, so that'll be quite interesting to do. But yeah, we'll start off getting this bottom radiator mount sorted and see how long that takes. Okay, so the radiator bracket is all made now, so that's all sorted. The turbo's off, and I found that even though I have that full steel drain, I still managed to burn a hole through my tiny bit of hose here. So she had ruptured through there, gone hot and cracked, whether it just cracked from under the stress or whatnot, but don't know if you can see, but this is supposed to be their super duper high temp stuff, but she's cracked in 2 places, and yeah, she's still pissing all out everywhere. So don't know what I'm gonna do next. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We might end up doing something like having a 90 come straight out of the turbo with a bit of braided line that is welded to a fitting straight on there or whatever. So I don't know actually, because it's just the same issue. I don't know what I'm going to do there, but yeah, off. So this here, as you can quite easily see here, this is going to be the difference between the exhaust housings. This is the one I was running, a 0.63, so she was just too small for the heavy breathing Myvic. So I've now got this one here, which is the bigger twin scroll. So hopefully that one will flow a bit more air and should be all good as well. The turbos themselves actually have different turbine sizes, which is a bit annoying. I wasn't expecting that, but it just is what it is. So I'm just going to have to use this whole turbo, and this one here I'll just put back together and sell, or more than likely use on the next project I've got coming up in a couple of weeks, which you guys will be seeing. It's a pretty cool project, so yes, we'll be moving on to that. And my GTO here will be taking a break for a little while. Well, I'm hoping actually to get all this finished first before I do that. So yeah, so that's all I'm going to do on this tonight, I think. It's just going to be a short video this week. Sorry about that. Next week I'll get this manifold all off. I'm going to have to cut it open somehow. I'll probably have to come in through the side, cut it open, and put a divider in it so I can keep the true twin scroll running properly and have a bank feeding each scroll. But then I've got to do the same and feed it all the way up the wastegate as well. So it's going to be reasonably tricky, but not impossible. So we'll just get there and do it. It's not the end of the world. So yeah, as you saw from the footage, I don't know if you thought so or not, but like I say, it just felt like it didn't have the heart and the soul into it. So I apologise for that, but hopefully from now on the footage will get better and get a bit more interesting. I've got some new gizmos. I've got a head mount and that for the camera, so I might try and actually film as I work a bit more, other than just doing time lapses and stuff. Yeah, but as you know, working on the farm, a lot of the time, if it starts to rain or something like that, I can just pop into the shed for half an hour, do a bit of work on the car, and then carry on with my daily duties. But there's not enough time to go home, grab the camera, get set up, film an episode, etc. So I have got a little bit further on the car compared to the footage you just watched. So as you can see now, I have, where's the torch? I have the twin scroll turbo on. I have modified my manifold to suit twin scroll. I pretty much cut it, if you can see, straight down here, around there and out here. don't know if you can see the cut lines or not across there. Welding's pretty average, but it doesn't need to be too pretty because it'll be all wrapped up. But so I put a divider in there. So the manifold now is generally properly a twin scroll. It's taking a scroll from each bank. What I have done though is down here, as you can see now, once I find it there, my flanges don't quite line up anymore, my V-bands, because what I actually did is I cut through here to take that section off the manifold, and when I did that, when I welded it back on, obviously it wasn't quite lined up, but it was lined up perfectly. So then the turbo itself had the proper clearance behind to the rocker cover, because being the fact that this twin scroll housing is physically quite a lot larger than the single scroll little 0.63 one I had, things got a bit tight, the flange was a bit close, etc. So that's sorted, but now I have to cut that flange off the crossover pipe, and and just re-weld it on an angle to suit that V-band. Once that's sorted, that should be good. Also, I have this turbo as a V-band rear, but I can't seem to find the right size V-band for it. But I have a 2.5 inch, which is very, very close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that V-band off the exhaust housing and weld this one on, and it should be good. They'll be fine, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't done any more with the radiator support and that yet. That will have a bit a bit of box section and stuff around it, and that should be pretty good. And then I've got some ducting to make, but we'll get there. We'll get onto that. But that's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry if that footage, like I say, didn't have much heart and soul into it. It should get better from now. I appreciate everyone watching, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers. See ya.